Good morning, everybody. I hope you had a great evening. It was pretty cold here last night. We're catching the backside of the, I guess they're calling it the Siberian Express. Sometimes it's the Arctic Clipper, and so, but they had a pretty interesting map that showed where this started in Russia, came straight across the pole, and right down into the good old United States. Again, when I go back and look at where the glaciers were 12 to 15,000 years ago, you got to remember that Manhattan was 2 miles under ice. This weather footprint looks exactly the same. And we have another year of the lowest sunspot activity on record since somewhere back in the 1800s. So you had to make a bet on global cooling or global warming. You'd make the bet on global cooling right now. And I don't know about you all, but I'm for global warming. And I think most people are too. Society and the world populations have prospered under global warming, and they suffer under global cooling because of the lack of food. Okay, today in all markets, both equities and financials, we have option expiration. And that tends to put the market into a trading range. The news overnight, every country manufacturing PMI was lower than forecast. That's our news today, too. Our manufacturing PMI is forecast at 53.8. Don't be surprised if that comes in lower than forecast. In Europe, all service PMIs were greater than forecast for individual countries and for the EU itself. In Great Britain, retail sales were well below forecast. So, again, the economic news as far as the productive side of the economy, the input, something actually being made on the manufacturing side, continues to suffer and contract. And everybody's hopeful that the service side will pick up the slack. So our two pieces of news today, Atlanta Fed, business inflation, nobody will pay any attention to that, and markets PMI at 53.8. Now, what's interesting in the overnight news is that Greece has told the EU/Germany, tell us yes or no on our deal today. The real deadline is next Friday. So the trial balloons that have come out overnight on the positive side is we'll get a deal today or by next Friday, where Greece will accept the terms. The negative one is to make Greece pay attention, is that supposedly Germany is prepared for Greece's exit from the EU. Greece will take our deal or no deal at all. And so the market will be subject to a news spike if we do get that news out of the EU today. If there is a deal and the status quo is maintained for however much time it is, the initial reaction will be financials will be lower. Risk-off investments are not favored. Gold should be lower. Hard to say how the euro currency will play, but longer term it should be lower off that news, and equity should be higher. So that's the news that's going to drive the market. So a trading range with a news spike, 27.16 to 28.16. is where the option play was yesterday. The day before that it was 27 even to 28. So my guess is we're looking at a close in the 27.24 area. On the 30-year it's 144 to 145, and that favors a close at 44.16. And we'll see if that plays out today. All subject to change from whatever the Greek news is. So sell one is 27 to 31. 27's a little old, leaning against this high volume number right there. A structural sell at 27.5. Should give you time to maneuver. Backup sell is 3 to 7. On the buy side, 21 to 17. And then 9 to 13. Okay, I've already posted that in the room. Those numbers or levels are up above, so Harry, if you're in trouble. But let me know when you got them. I'm going to write them down now, too, myself. Got them? Okay, a limit sell against this high volume number at 20. Sell at 20 or better is what you're looking for. Got volume, a big volume note up here at 28 as high as 06. Got a low volume number at 24, so 23, 27. 31 to 03 for sell 2. Rarely have trouble making our number 2 levels. We've got volume down here at 08, currently at 22. So buying against this high volume number, 13 to 17 by 1, and 5 to 9 by 2. Going to play for a close at 16 today. And the buying in the 16 area is to get something on. Anticipation. What usually happens, the dynamics are they'll run it up, they'll run it down, freeze the calls, freeze the puts, close in the middle. I haven't gotten to gold yet, Laramie, so just hold your horses. We're going to do it right now. It's the 10-year note, it's the 30-year, it's gold, it's the euro, it's crude, and finally to the ES. That's our sequence in the morning. And at the end of the day, we flip the euro and crude. Okay, risk on, no deal with the EU and Greece. Gold should rally. They get a deal, gold should sell. Very, very quiet overnight session. And that's what your splits should look like right there. So we got pretty good buying down in the 5 to 7 area. And we've got this 15 to 18 area, so 14 to 16. Sell 1. Now, if there's ever a leak in what the deal's coming, it's usually in the gold market. They usually move before it. So we've 5 to 7 for buy 1. $1 to 02 for buy 2. Seem like quite a student, Laramie. Pretty meticulous in your approach to the market. So, you're a pretty good example of the type of work that has to be done if you want to succeed at this. You got to figure it out yourself. Okay. Yeah, you got to do the work. There's just and the reason for that is your trades are yours, and if you're going to succeed at this, there's no other way that it can happen. Now, you can get a mentor. I don't know of anybody that succeeds quickly at this without a mentor, but ultimately you gotta do the work. So 52.50, 52.75, 53, 53 and a quarter on crude. You know, 53 plus, 51.50 minus is where the market is right now. So this is pretty. Okay, I'll let them get stops below the overnight 51 and a quarter. Then 50.75, 51. I have no idea how the EU news will affect us. I know that. based on the leadership coming out of Europe and the United States and Middle East, that speculators will be hesitant to sell and build big positions in crude on the short side because they can't deliver in. I lied. We just did crude. Sorry, Laramie. Again, just longer term, I don't, we might get a rally up if the status quo is preserved. Greece leaving the EU should take the euro down. After the dust settles, Greece staying in the EU with heavy subsidization from the EU should take the euro down too. So that's where we are. Top of value is 40, volumes at 25, currently at 15. So you can live with a structural sell at 25. So we'll make 30 to 40 picking up this value area high, sell one. And then 50 to 60, sell two. On the buy side, it's going to be 1,300 plus or minus. And then 1275. As you all know, I do not like to initiate positions long. In the euro, I can trade it to the long side, but I think time is on your side if you're short. Okay, looking at the E-mini, today's option expiration for the Feb option in the E-mini. 2100 is the favorite call strike price, then it builds from 2110, 2125, 2150. On the put side, the highest open interest is 2025. Yesterday's action, 2100. Calls and 2080 puts. So based on option expiration today, we should have a pretty good bar against 80. So buying against 80 at 2081 structural event, and then they have 2099 sell. As far as option expiration is going. As far as the structure goes, I think that makes sense. Now, if there was to be a squeeze, it would be the upside. I don't think it would be to the downside. So if we're going to get something going, this could be the impetus to close us above 2100 option expiration. Okay, I'm going to give it a little room to the downside, 85, 87 buy one. May have to step up to the plate at 90, then 80 to 82 for buy two. Jeff's point is well taken on how to trade the euro. I just think you have a lot more time short than you do on the long side. They don't. Not saying you can't get a good trade to the long side. I'm just saying that they're fleeting. They don't last very long. So the news out of Europe will be whether the EU have a deal or not. If they have a deal, equity should rally. If they don't have a deal, they should sell. And option expiration favors a close at 2090 today, based on the math. That's a 2080 put and a 2100 call, closing in between those. And you can see that we got volume at 96 and volume at 91 right now. And the low volume area is down here. So our first buy is leaning against this low volume area. The second buy is leaning against where the put open interest is. Okay, it'll take about 15 minutes to get everything up and posted. I'm going to get busy doing that. Be back with you as soon as possible. We do have markets PMI news today on manufacturing, 53.8.